All right, so the third set of fees are the title fees. This is usually the most expensive set of fees out of the four sets, and the fees themselves are written up probably differently, more differently amongst the title fees than any other type of set of fees. And these are ones that you can go out and shop. Usually, if you're shopping title fees, however, I mean they're all going to be within 5 or 8% of each other. Your agent's usually going to choose the title company anyways, and they're going to give you a very competitive set of fees, no matter who that title company is. Now, here's a rundown of them. Number one is the lender's title. This is mandatory. This is an insurance policy, just like the owner's title policy. This is then not mandatory. This is optional. But I've never seen anyone opt out of owner's title policy, and here's why. The title policy, you pay for one to the lender and one for yourself, if you want, covers you in case anyone in the future after you purchase this home comes at you and wants to put a lien on the house. This is really just like a lawsuit intended against a past owner of the home. Let's say the past owner had plumbing work done on the house, and the plumber says that they didn't get paid for it, and so they want to grab $7,000 out of you. Well, if you have title insurance, your title insurer will then cover it and pay for it, so you won't have to worry about the crazy people that come at you for that. I mean, sometimes just random and extreme case, but somebody's wife could have not been on the sale of the property way back when, and the other spouse just took the money and ran off with it, and the other spouse didn't know, and then that spouse could be upset and try and put a claim to the house and say that, well, it's rightfully theirs. But title policy covers that, makes sure that nothing bad happens to you in the future. So that's the biggest fee. Number two is the examination fee. This searches record lists and makes sure there's not any lien on the property that has to be paid off by the seller before closing. This also checks to make sure that there's no homes you have ownership to that we haven't calculated towards your debt to income ratios. Then number three is the settlement or the processing fee, as it's usually called. This is a fee for the title company or the settlement agency to perform the paperwork and the actual settlement service on a closing day. It could be from a lawyer. The next fee is called a survey. The survey is a blueprint. It's an outline of the property showing you the extent of your land ownership and where the boundaries are. This is done by a property surveyor. It's not necessarily so cheap. It's about $500 if you have to get one. Usually the seller will have this for you, and you won't have to then go to a property surveyor to then purchase one yourself. Just a couple other fees left. One is the courier. This is when the title company has to send a notary to perform the closing site off-site of the title office. You're basically paying for a lawyer to sit in traffic. It's pretty much an expensive Uber at that point. And then there could be some other fees added in smaller amounts. Every company writes theirs up differently, but these are the main types of title fees.